guys? King of Venom here, otherwise known as 808RC. And today, this new vehicle in the group. This is the Dominus 10TR 4-wheel drive Truggy from Helion RC. This came all the way from the hobby shop called Hobbytown USA, all the way down in Knoxville, Tennessee. This was a Christmas gift. I know Christmas was what, like 2 months ago? Dude, why are you only letting it out now? Well, this is when I got around to it. And had to make sure I could get the vehicle all situated. And yeah. So this isn't a review. This is just basically letting you guys know what's going on in the garage. So go ahead and take this body off. You can see it's got an aluminum chassis here. Aluminum, nice and rugged. And this is the wing. This broke off. It really doesn't have the best amounts to put this on. So yeah, no wing anymore. So now it looks more just like a truck. I've already done some mods to it, but I'll get more into detail in those later. It comes with a 8.2 volt, 800 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery with Tamiya connectors, high voltage Tamiya connectors, because they're much bigger than the ones I'm used to. Brushless motor, 350 kV, 2.4 gigahertz. No ESC, because the ESC, it could be a piece of crap, or it could just because I don't have good luck with stock ESCs and anything. I never ever do. I don't know why. It's just something that goes on with me. It never works out for me. They always end up blowing out, or they just stop working. So me and ESCs, unless I buy them myself, I really don't trust them. So let's go ahead and get you guys a close-up look of what we got going on here. Alright guys, here with the close-up. It looks a little bit different than when I showed you in the first part of the video, but that's because we had technical difficulties, and this is the next day. So I had to do things a little bit different here. I was having issues with my camera recording, and I decided, you know what, I'll wait till tomorrow to do this so I can figure this out. So starting out here with the servo and receiver box, is all one unit. Screws down to the chassis with 4 screws, and is supposedly waterproof. I don't know. Don't take my word on that. I don't even take the manufacturer's word on that, because you never know. It comes with a 2.4 gigahertz controller and receiver, and it is pretty reliable. The controller has a feature on it that if you leave it on too long, it will begin to beep. They tell you to cut me off because you're killing your batteries for no reason. And I love that. And so you guys get to know, I'll show you the transmitter after this, because I want to have that on its own little portion of the video. And on to the motor in here. The motor in here is a 350 kV motor. It's got enough power for this car. It gets it around. And it doesn't run that hot on the stock battery. Stock battery is a 8 volt, 800 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery running high voltage Tamiya connectors. These haven't melted on me. I heard if I run a light bulb through these, they could, which I have. I ran a 3S 25C 11.1 volt, and it did pretty well for me. It did fine on all the 3 runs I ran it on. And then here is the low voltage alarm. I have one of these on Project Overload, so yeah, I have 2 of these, and they come in handy. I plan on running them once I get new batteries, because as some of you may know, I blew up that battery in Project Mini, which is why Project Mini is now toning it down a little bit. So moving on to the shocks and suspension arms to show you what we're dealing with here. If we take a closer look, you can see that it's pretty basic. There's 2 holes on the top, 2 holes on the bottom, and if you look at mine, you may notice the 2 holes on the bottom I'm not using. I'm using the sway bar mounts Well, this vehicle does not have sway bars, which I don't know why they put them on. There's no sway bars for me to buy either. So I decided to take the sway bar mounts and use some shock mounts because stock, I thought the suspension was really tough and I wanted to make it a little bit softer. So I moved them into the hole. I did this both on the front and the back, so you see this on the front. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is just grind out with a Dremel the inside of the suspension arm just a little bit. Let me show you guys here. You grind it out just a little bit so you can fit it in there and it moves freely. And it works pretty well for me. It has the suspension just where I want it in the back. In the front, I had to get the springs are way too springy for me. It comes back too quick. I want the rebound to be just a little bit slower. And while I have this flipped over, as you can see here, the chassis is fully metal, which I really like, a full metal chassis. First one that I have is full metal. Camber links on the front and the rear. Well, adjustable top arms. We come around here. We can see that it uses pillow balls in the front. Adjustable links for the steering. And onto the front here. I've also done some suspension mods here, and there's two ways you can do this. First of all, the suspension, bottom arm mounts, and there's a way you can do it, but you need a couple extra screws. I use some screws from Project Mini that I no longer needed because I've done mods on that. But here's basically what I did. So what we have here, there's one of the Project Mini screws right here and right here. So I took the spare servo arms that comes with this vehicle, and I put a hole through them in a certain spot. I'll show pictures of this after the video. In a certain spot, just so I could get it to fit in there, right there, and screw it onto the already existing shock mounts. And then I got some spacers from the old rocker arms I had on the Project Overload, and I screwed them in there so I had the proper amount of spacing between the mounts, well, the new mounts, and the top of the shock, so there wouldn't be any rub, so it wouldn't rub up against the shock. And it works really well, makes it nice and soft how I wanted it to be, but the spring rate is just a little too fast for me. In the rear, it's perfect. It's like butter. It's perfect. Check this out. Perfect. It doesn't come all the way up like the front, so still working with that. I think that's about it for the Dominus 10TR, because I mean, there's not much to the vehicle. It's a basic 1/10 scale vehicle, metal chassis, metal drivetrain, forgot to mention, and that's pretty good. Metal drivetrain. Yeah, and that's about it here. Only thing I tell you guys to watch out for is that wing mount, because the wing mount is not reliable at all, but it's really just for looks. It's broken off. I might buy another one, or I might try to make my own custom mount, but it's pretty good. And there's also another vehicle based off the same platform, uses the same diffs and stuff like that. And I can put the bump, it's a short course truck, and I can put that bumper on the front of here, the tires, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's pretty good. Now, time to show you guys the receiver. Well, not receiver, transmitter. My bad. Transmitter. Alright guys, this is going to be the last part, and this is the transmitter. I'm going to show you the receiver. The receiver is in the top here, and I use paper clips to keep it down, but that's off to the side. This transmitter, it's got 3 channels. I haven't tried to use the 3rd channel, so I'm not sure if it's one of those fake type 3 channels. But the 3 channel button is right here. It seems to be like a click or a push. I'm not sure what it is. But it's got the basic channels. When you cut it on, it makes a beeping noise. And a little red light at the top. That second beep was because I pressed one of the trims. I'll have to deal with that later. It's got a foldable antenna, 2.4 gigahertz. It only takes a total of 4 batteries. I got my batteries from Amazon because I'm awesome. The trims here, this first trim is for channel 2, the second trim at the very top is for channel 1, and this is for channel 3. I changed the foam, so don't expect this foam if you do buy this vehicle. This foam I like much better than when it came stock. The stock is fine, but I just preferred this one. And that's about it. And it comes with a little spot for this lanyard. I put this, it does not come with a lanyard, I put my own. I did it just so I could hold it better. And I think that's it for this. It's pretty simple. It's basically just a radio, a good starter, and it's pretty reliable. And as I said earlier, it does give you a warning if you leave it on without using it. So, I guess that's it. That's the end of the video. I'll see you guys later. That's King of Enderman signing up, otherwise known as 808RC. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.